Meow, and welcome to Simple Guitar Lessons with Housecat Greg. This is going to be the simple lesson for the song Theme for Feral Housecat off the Feral Housecat's album Fall in Love with Trash from 2023. When I say simple, I mean it. The song is simple, my playing is simple, and this video is going to be simple. Alright, so anyway, let's get right into it. It is useful to have at least an understanding of how bar chords work and the shapes that they're in. If you don't have that, look up a video from a professional teacher and they will show you. If your bar chords don't sound good, don't worry too much about it yet. Just keep playing the bar chords. They will sound terrible, they will sound terrible, they will sound terrible, and then one day they just won't. And you'll be like, how the heck did that happen? Now, at the end of this, I will show alternatives to the bar chords as well, so stay tuned. Okay, the song's pretty simple. First, I'm going to play the verse. Okay, that's that. There's a slight variation that happens on the second time through. So what I'm playing here is I start with an A. That's a bar chord based on the 5th fret here. And that's the strumming pattern that I generally use on it. I do vary it around sometimes. Sometimes it's... And I don't do that second upstroke there at the end there. And then it goes down to an F sharp, which is the bar chord based off the 2nd fret there. And then, after I've done that, I just twist my wrist a little bit here so that I can get my index finger down here to the high E string. That's what we call the 1st string. And I play it on the 2nd fret, and then I play it on the 4th fret. So we got... And then I'm going to move over to a bar chord that is rooted on the 8th string, and this is a D chord, and it's going to be from the 5th fret, and then to the E. So that whole passage, the way it actually sounds is, then I'll go over the little flourish, not flourish, but additives. Okay, so I'm playing that D, and after the 3 strum, I flatten my ring finger here so that now it is pressing down on the low E, the high E string, and then I kind of release that. So. And then we move over to the E, which is off that 7th fret. And after 3 strums there, I go down to, again, up, really. When you go down towards the floor, you're actually going up in pitch, so we call those the higher strings. So I'm going to the 9th fret on that high E string, and then the 7th and 5th. Except you gotta play it better than that. See? When I miss things there, that's just me proving that I'm just a regular guy like you. Or a regular gal. I'm not a regular gal. You might be a regular gal. Point is, I'm no brilliant virtuoso myself either. So you can do this. Okay, so that's the main portion of the verse. Now, every other time and live, I kind of jimmy this around different ways. But every other time I have one slight adjustment, which is when I'm doing the A to F sharp thing. I'll then go, instead of 2 to 4, I'll do 4 to 2. Okay, so there you go. You've got the verse down. Now, there's not really a true chorus to this song. We just get to the end of the verse, and then there's a kind of a changed passage, so we'll call that the chorus here. All right, even though I say a different thing each time vocally. So once we've done that, you know, I'll do some vocals here so that kind of. Don't care what nobody says. Don't without the band here. Even I'm having moments here. Whatever. Okay, so once you've done that, we just hit. It's the same chords you know already, the A and the F sharp. You just stab that A. Don't you touch my tail, or you're gonna bleed for days. It's just that. It's just a quick A, a quick F sharp. And then it's got this lick, which is pretty fun here. And the cool thing is, it's fun, but it's not difficult. It's something that anybody can play with a little bit of practice. So I'm starting with play the 5th fret on the high E string twice. And we move to the B string, and it's going to be the 6th fret to the 5th fret, twice each. And then we're going to go to I'm going to use my middle finger, and I'm going to go to the 6th fret on the G string, and slide that to the 7th fret. And then it's just going to be, I'm going to then take my index finger, move all the way down to the 6th string, the lowest E, and I'm going to play the 7th fret, 7th, 8th, 7th, 5th. And then notice that now my index finger is on the 5th fret of the low E string, which makes me right in position to go for the next verse. Okay, just a couple other little parts of this song. It's very simple. We do have after the second verse, we do have a guitar solo. Now during the guitar solo, the rhythm is still going. Jesus. Well, that's not how it's going. See? Human here. And I'm cutting out the little flourishes there. The rhythm's not usually playing those during the guitar solo. The guitar solo, I promise you, you've not learned an easier guitar solo in your life. The guitar solo is in the key of E. It is actually the note of E. This is it. And then the second time the progression plays, I am then putting my index finger on the 5th fret of the B string, which turns it into an E. So now I've got 2 E's. And then while that's going, I bend that B string at the 5th fret. And the cool thing about it is, don't worry about how the bend is. If it sounds weird, that's correct. Make it sound weird. All right. Cool. Then we go back. We got another verse. Now, after the 3rd and 4th verses, there is one extra little passage. We could call it breakdown. I don't know what to call it. Doesn't matter. So, we've just... Okay, so we've done that after the 3rd verse. And then we're going to play this. So this is going to be all bar chords again. It's going to be the A, the D, which is on the 10th fret, and then the C sharp on the 9th fret. And if you've got a Bigsby or a whammy bar of sorts, that's the time to kind of wiggle it, drop that pitch a little bit. So that's the first time through. The second time, so that's the A, the D. Now you're going to go to an E, which is on the 12th fret. And then back to the B on the 7th for a quick stab. So, okay, now we're going to do the A to the D to the B. So, the 5th fret, the 10th fret, you go down to the B, and then the fourth one that finishes it up, you're going to go the 5th fret to the 9th, so that's an A to a C sharp. And then the D on the 10th, the C sharp on the 9th, the B on the 7th, and then the A on the 5th. Yeah. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then the last little bit of the whole song, something I really like to do in my writing is at ends of songs, I sometimes like to trick the ear into believing we're going into yet another pass through and then cut it off. And that's how the song ends. Okay, now I want to briefly go over a couple options if you're having trouble with bar chords. Pardon me. You can also play power chords for everything I've shown you. So, if you play the power chords, you're playing them in the same spot if you play certain kind. Most standard power chords. So you could play a 2-finger or a 3-finger power chord. Again, if you don't know how to do that, look up a lesson. There are lots of really great lessons on YouTube for how to play power chords, bar chords, anything in this world of music. So you're just playing the power chord. Right. So that means I'm playing the 5th fret to the 2nd fret off the E string, and then I've got, the extra note. And then I'm playing the 5th fret to the 7th fret on, rooted on the A string. Okay, so there's that. Now another possibility is if you don't know power chords, or if you don't feel good with power chords, or you just want to give it some variety, some of the times you could play things with these high-pitched triads. So what I'm doing here, I know it's kind of hard to see, but I have got my index finger covering the 5th fret of the E and the B string. And then my middle finger is on the 6th fret of the G string. And that is an A triad. It is an entire A chord. It's an A major chord. I go down to the 2nd fret. Okay, so there's your first passage. Now, in order to play the next part, you don't go to the 5th and 7th frets again, because if you do that, you're just playing another A and a B. So since we're going to play this shape, I'm not going to try to teach all these triad shapes, because again, triads, if there was a lesson that I think everybody should learn first, it's triads. It's, I think, more valuable to learn triads and how they work than open chords, to be honest. But I'm not an expert teacher, so whatever. But if you're going to play that same triad, in order to get the next sound, you need to go to the 10th fret and the 12th fret to give you a D and E. And then you would still come down to the 9th, 7th, 5. And that's that. That's theme for Feral Housecat. So thank you for watching. I hope that in the coming months and years, you're going to hear tons and tons and tons of new musicians starting to cover the Feral Housecats the way it ought to be.